everybody. We are back for episode session 28 of Mateia. Last time, you guys all awoke in Baswin Wharf, waiting to meet up with the ship that was coming in to head out towards Evermeet. So you guys took care of a little bit of business in town, and then you went and had lunch with the crew and the captain, who introduced himself as a small goblin with 3 gold teeth called Captain Gold Von Gold, and the crew, whose name I had on here, but they have gone. Alania, the first mate, an elvish female, Brosk, a red-skinned larger kobold, and then Arnold Cosgrave, a young human wizard person, a deck wizard, if you will. And then you guys all boarded. I don't know if I told you the name last time, but the name of the ship is in fact the Impolite James. So you set out for a 7-day journey to arrive at Pax's home island of Evermeet. During the first day, the weather kind of went from clear to foggy, as ocean weather does. And as you were out just kind of watching the waves, a few corrupted hammerhead sharks tried attacking during the fog that you encountered, but you guys disposed of them pretty easily. You spent the rest of the afternoon and the evening just kind of fixing the ship up a little bit. Fizz was working on the cannons to try and upgrade the one cannon into something a little bit better. You did make an upgrade to the point now that you can reload and fire the cannon as an action when you have somebody else there with you, and you can turn it all in the same motion rather than doing it in multiple turns. So it's a little bit better than it was. But you guys, during the evening, eventually all went to sleep. And while Pax was on watch, it got darker and a storm set in, and you kept seeing this giant humanoid figure in the distance until eventually you realized that you were encountering a storm giant, which is what you find yourselves in combat with right now. And let me get your tunage back on, and we'll get back into the combat, because that's where you guys find yourself now, in the middle of a storm, in combat. And your token right here, is it visible for you?
No, not for me for some reason. I might need a refresh. Hold on.
Oh,
It's
good thing.
visible, but not maybe on a different layer.
No,
There we go.
I was gonna say, good thing I took a picture of the turn order earlier, because apparently it didn't remember it.
Oh no.
How rude of them.
Right. Oh, there it is. That was dumb. All I had to do was add Fizz, and it popped right back in for me. Cool. All right, so we are at the top of the turn order, which is where we left off. There are 6 rounds until the rest of the crew, who are currently underneath the ship, which is Kalen, where you ran down to on your turn, who are repairing the giant hole. They got lightning blasted through the ship as the ship begins to take on water. They are fixing that so your ship does not go down. The giant currently is encapsulated in a whole circle of darkness that Kaylin cast before taking off running downstairs, and there are 3 giant glebas remaining, trying to attack this giant into the darkness. And at the top of the round, Fizz, it is your turn.
I can't remember if I had 2 attacks this turn and 1 reload, or 1 attack and 2 reloads, because it's been a while.
We'll just do this. We'll roll a D100, and if it's high, you can get 2 attacks. How about that?
Okay.
We'll do it that way. It's low, so we'll just go that way,
Oh,
because I don't remember
you
either.
were rolling.
So there you go. We'll go with the 1 and the 1 attack, and however you go that round.
Alright, so reload, I will fire at disadvantage into the darkness, right?
Yes, because it is in the darkness.
Alright, and I have 60 range, and he is 45 away, so reload, shoot.
Yeah, you hit with a 20.
And then and then reload, and that is my turn.
Okay. Pax, it is your turn. You are concentrating on something, or you were. I don't know what you were concentrating on.
I
You
don't
were
remember. I know I
concentrating.
had done a few psychic lances. What
Mm,
else would I have been concentrating on?
I don't remember. I don't think there's actually anything else that you're concentrating on.
Oh,
Did you hit him with like a slow or a hold monster or something?
I've got neither of those, so no.
Oh, well then,
Yeah,
I don't know.
can't
You
do
gotta
that.
take that.
But I think the move is just. Oh wait, psychic lance would still be disadvantaged because the attack roll is in darkness, correct?
Yes. Anything that would require an attack roll would be at disadvantage, and anything that requires you seeing the target, you cannot do because you cannot see them.
What's the actual distance from the ship to the guy?
So wherever it says like a half a mile, that
Oh,
is like 50 feet basically, or no, it's 5 feet. So the math is so like Fizz is 45 feet away. So every 0.5 miles is 5 feet. So each square is your regular 5 feet. It just says miles.
okay.
So.
And I'm aware of Fizz's upgrades in terms of if there's two people, the cannon goes faster, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep, you saw him working on it. You don't quite know exactly what it is that he was working on, but you did see him spending a lot of the day working on the cannon. So
So that would be for me to take actions to help, probably, I'm assuming.
yeah.
Cool. Then I think. Yeah, because all of my stuff's going to be disadvantage because of that darkness.
Or not castable
Getting
because
by-
you can't see. Yeah.
Correct. So I think the move is get me over to Fitz and say, hey, let me know how I can help make this cannon fire faster. I also have some bardic inspiration so we can do this together.
Cool.
So get
You're
that.
what, a D8 now?
It is a D blah 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 10. Aha.
Cool. It's a D10. So you're holding your action for Fizz giving you cannon direction.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, we will hang out with that around until Fizz's turn. And then you have all of your glebas outside of this dark, giant bubble, and you're on the boat.
Okay. Cool. So I don't think I've wild shaped yet because it doesn't look like I have.
I don't think you have.
I don't think I have. So I'm going to. I can still do that while concentrating on my glebas, right?
Correct. It's just an action.
I don't think it
Watch
affects.
Spore Druid. Yep.
Okay, so I will go ahead and do that. And let me just make sure my EM20 is all set up. Okay, symbiotic entity active. And then, do I still have... I mean, bonus
So
action
yep.
shillelagh, I guess, is pretty much all I can do. What about, as a reaction, just to kind of let you know now, I want to have my Halo of Spores as my reaction, if I can, on the monster's turn, just so you know.
How far does your thing go? I forget.
Let me just check. I think it's like, it's a 10-foot cube, 30 feet away, so I might not be able to reach them fully.
That's fine.
see.
I will draw you a little 10-foot. Actually, here's what I'll do. We'll get a little.
Oh, I guess if I'm here.
We'll just
ruler.
do. I'm just gonna do this. Mateia, I'm gonna give you, just because I think it's funny. This is gonna be your boat. This is gonna be your Halo of Spores, and it's a 10-foot cube, so it's gonna be that big. That's your Halo of Spores, and you can put it. You should have control of it, and you can put it
Okay.
wherever you want, within 30 feet.
So each block is
Each
how
block's
much?
5
Sorry.
feet. Yeah, so each block's the 5 feet square. So that would
Okay.
be that'd be 50 feet. So
So I can't quite put it. So I can put it like around there, right?
yes.
At like the max of my 30 feet. 10, 20, 30.
Now it
Correct?
should be easier to do the math on. Oh no, I shrunk this thing
Eh.
too big. Had a circle around it. What's the square of darkness? It's 60 feet, right? I think it is.
Yeah, 60
Not
60 feet of darkness.
60-foot radius of darkness?
I'm 99% certain that's it, but let me double check.
Cool. Because this is actually how big it should have been the whole time.
Fair. Okay. Yeah, so I'll put the spores kind of in the path towards the boat.
Cool.
As
That's the
best I
dark-
can.
That's the darkness. All 15-foot radius. Okay, that makes more sense. I'm like, or else that is a huge bubble of darkness.
That would be insane.
There you go. That's the darkness. That makes more sense. I just changed everything to feet real quick so that we can just do the math on it a lot faster, and then I'll flip back to miles later.
Okay, and then can the glebes attack before my turn is over?
Yes,
Like they'll
and it
attack
will
at the end of
all
my
be
turn?
at disadvantage. Yep, because they're in the
Okay.
dark.
And I'll do just 3 bite attacks.
They all miss.
Darn. Okay. That's my turn.
And you get what, 48 temporary hit points?
Oh, yes.
There you
Thank
go.
you for reminding me.
You're good. Cool. Alright, it's the Storm Giant's turn. He has that little lightning thingy because that was a reminder to me that he got his lightning strike back. Well, he cannot immediately see. He knows where the boat is, but he can't see. But what he's gonna do is he's just gonna take some greatsword swings at these monsters in front of him. They will also be at disadvantage because he is in darkness. So we'll just go top to bottom. First one is a 16 to hit this gleba. I think hits, right?
Sorry. Let me just find theirs again. I switched back to my other character sheet. I think they have a low. AC's 11, yeah.
Alright, well the first one
That hits.
doesn't go down, so he's gonna go ahead and take a second attack and try and get rid of him. 16 to hit for 27, which is this
Hits.
one's dead, and then
He's
because
gone.
Leap will applies through, this one takes 20 damage too.
Ouch.
Slashes through, but you don't know how many of
Or
your glebas are
glebes.
gone or not gone, so and yes, you see well, you don't see it, but they can both get attacks of opportunity at disadvantage, the glebas, as the darkness starts to sink into the water. So they can take attacks at disadvantage.
Okay. There we go. Maybe it'll roll. I get 2, right?
11 and 6 both miss, but you see, you
Darn.
can now see your
My
your
glebes?
glebas. You can see your glebas, and you see a giant ball of darkness underwater, starting to move a little bit. Because this thing can move very far. You can see this darkness bubble moving underwater, and that's you see the darkness bubble, and it moves to about the back end of the ship, and it's currently moved to. Let me see this math real quick so I can do it right. Okay, cool. You see the bubble of darkness is right on the right side of the ship. Fizz and Pax, and then you guys see this darkness bubble underneath you, and at Mateia you see it over here as well. So, Kaylin, it's your turn.
Yeah, I'm spending my turn to help patch up the ship. Basically, whatever gets shout that I need to go grab, I'll go grab. Whatever I can offer support for, I will offer support as they hammer it in. I am by no means good with any of these tools, but I can offer help wherever they send me. So that's what I'm doing with my turn.
Okay, so instead of them just taking 1 round, they'll get 2 rounds of advancement. So instead of going to 5 rounds, they will now only have 4 rounds before they will rejoin top and do whatever they need to do. Fizz.
I think I did this last time we played. So I see the shadow in the water moving.
Mm-hmm.
Since we still have some time before the captain's up here, can I grab the wheel and try and do a hard left?
You certainly can. The wheel is up here. No, the wheel's back here, I think, where you are. Yeah, you're by the wheel. Yeah, you can try and take a hard left. You got Pax there, too, with you. So you can certainly try and take a hard left.
I would like to do that with Pax's help.
Sure.
Okay. So we'll say that you would get a... do you have navigator's tools or anything?
I do not.
Alright, well then make me a survival check without proficiency. I don't know if you have proficiency in it or not, but
I am not proficient.
cool. Just a straight. It'll just be a straight survival since it would normally be at disadvantage since you don't know how to drive ships, but facts help. Just break it.
All right, here is a survival.
13. Okay. You're in the middle of the storm. You feel the boat starting to turn a little bit. It's not turning maybe as quickly as you would have expected it to, but it is starting to turn somewhat. Let me see if I can get this. Oh no, that's the map. That's not what I want to do. Give me this thing. It's basically turned a little bit like this. I gotta turn this too. You guys underneath feel the boat start to turn. Pax, it is your turn.
Okay. Big darkness bubble coming up. Basically, yes, I'm interpreting that correctly.
Yep, you see this big old field of it almost looks like a giant octopus ink cloud that's chasing you guys. That's pretty much here. I'll show you where it is as far as like around you. You don't know the monster's there, but it's basically right there.
Right. Okay.
That's everything that's comes, but it's not on top of the boat yet. It's still underwater. So.
Right. Okay. That could work. Other than the cannon, is there anything else that's big around to do like an animate objects with a small number of large things to just like yeet at it?
You have like some crates and some barrels and maybe some rope just up here, but a lot of things are tied down because of the storm. So
Right.
you didn't want a lot of your stuff going overboard, so you, the crew had tied a lot of the stuff down.
And how close to the surface is this blob, or is that hard to tell?
You know that the spell has a pretty small radius of that 15 feet, and you can't see like the head of the giant or anything, and the darkness is still underwater, so at least 15 feet.
Okay. So I'm thinking Thunderwave is maybe a better guess than animate object. Just like lean my hands over and just Thunderwave in its general direction.
Yeah. And do you have to be able to see it, or is it just comes from you?
I don't think so. Well, let me check on the wording of the spell. A wave of thunderous force reach out from you, each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you. And I think I'm on the side of the cube, although I don't know if that matters too much.
You can pretty much direct yourself to whatever part of the cube you want to be on. So as long
Yeah,
as
so I think I'd like to be...
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to see anything. That's one of the ones that is just verbal and somatic. So as long as you're not blinded, as long as you're not silent, should I say, you can literally cast it however you want, whatever direction you want.
So I think,
So yeah, you can push
like
it
going
directly.
down
Okay.
15
What
feet, so
level
this
you
is
cast
this kind of
it?
idea. We'll do it at a... Scroll, at a 5th.
Oof. Now here, do you have any fits left? I thought you used both on.
Oh, I don't. I
I
have a
have a
6.
six left.
We'll
Or
do
some
a
fours.
4.
Okay.
We'll do a 4.
And it's a what? Save. Con save.
Burp.
Okay.
Ooh.
18 con save.
26.
17. Okay. I can't actually. I don't think I can click on the square. Might be able to. As you. There we go. As you release this wave of thunder, you know what it feels like when your spells take effect and when they hit their target.
Mhm.
It doesn't feel like it had any effect at all.
Great. Just turned up the water, so.
You hear it's almost like your thunder from your thunder wave was absorbed by the storm.
Mm.
Anything else on your turn?
Just back away some. Oopsies.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. You can move back.
And hold on to the mast.
All right, cool. You're not close enough for him to reach out to you. Anthea.
Okay, my Glebas have a swim speed of 40 feet. Are they able to try and chase the darkness?
They can.
I can see them, so I can kind of.
Yeah,
them
they can pretty
too.
much get
Okay.
to where it would be. So I'll put
Cool,
them
cool.
to basically here, and they swim into the darkness. And I will say that they do get close enough to it, so they can attack. It'll just be at disadvantage.
Okay, so the same thing. All right. And let's see. I don't know if I really have much that I could help with. that could be interesting. Because I don't want to lose my concentration either. And most of my stuff is just kind of... Yeah. Anyway, okay. Let's see. Sorry, I just forgot a couple of my 6th level spells, so I want to make sure I check.
You're good.
Most of my stuff doesn't have the range, or it's like fire, and it's like, I can't put that underwater. That won't work.
Sure.
Yeah, everything else is either touch, fire... Okay, let's say I will use my action then. Can I also help out to try and patch the boat, or does it look like the guys could use some help with the cannons?
Well, right now, they seem to have abandoned the cannon plan, as
Right.
it seems to be trying to drive the boat, and Pax ran back and held on to the mast after unleashing a loud thunder blast. So they abandoned the cannons as quickly as they went to the cannon.
Okay, not a great sign. I don't want to necessarily run into the boat because then I won't be able to see things. So, I don't know what to do for myself. I know what to do for my glebas. Can I roll for them first?
Oh yeah, 100%.
So I'll have them just do their normal bite.
Okay. Disadvantage bites for them.
But yeah, I think if I see Pax running and grabbing onto things, I
Both
might
of
start to do
those.
the same. Oh man, glebas. Okay, can I use my inspiration that I had to help them?
Sure, you
See.
can use it for one of them.
Okay. So I get to re-roll
You
one?
could just do a straight roll attack.
Okay.
19, they do bite.
Yay, a bite!
Does make it through.
Beautiful.
At least
Okay.
you hope. So,
Okay. And it can't
they
swallow it
grab
because
it
it's too big.
Yes, it
That
can
is
swallow
fair.
it. It's like
Oh, wait.
twice or 3 times the
They-
size of the Glebas.
Can they grapple though?
Is it grapple or is it just restrain?
Target is grappled with a DC 13. And then if they swallow them, like they have to be smaller. But to grapple, it's just part of the bite attack, I think.
Okay, well, that works. It is grappled unless it tries to break away with a DC 13 strength save. And I will tell you, our strength check, it's got a +9 to strength, so if it decides to try and break it, you gotta roll off.
Not gonna last. It is not gonna last. Okay. Okay, my turn. I think, yeah, I'm gonna hold on to the mast.
Okay.
And panic.
Alright, and just panic.
Just panic.
Alright.
What's
Well,
happening? What should we do?
It kind of changes the giant's idea a little bit. So the giant is effectively directly under the boat, and you guys can see the darkness being where it is.
Uh-huh.
So he's going to. Kaylin, what's your passive perception?
Ooh, that's a good question. My passive perception is 15.
Okay, and what's your dexterity? 20.
My dex score is 20. Yes.
Cool. So with the passive perception and that dex, you start to hear it before you see it, and you see the tip of a sword shove its way up through the boat, basically to like this square right here. So, where is my thingy magic? Where's my drive? Basically in this square right here. You see a sword just up in that, the tip of it, and you can just jump out the way without any reaction or anything. So you basically hop over there, and this guy doesn't see it fast enough, however, but you do see the tip of this sword start to crackle with lightning, and he's just gonna use his lightning strike from directly beneath the boat, and try to blast a hole in the back of the rig to get this boat out of the ocean. So it's coming up right here, and so everything within 10 feet of it, and I'm gonna put it, I don't know, we'll use this little small guy right here, basically came in right here, and so everything within it's just 10 feet in general, so it's probably, let's see if this is the right size. It's twice as big as that. Alright, so it's gonna shove its sword up and release its lightning strike. So everything within that range directly on the lower level of the boat and the upper level of the boat, which is Pax, Fizz, and Broke right there. Right there. All have to make a DC 17 dex save. Or take 44 lightning damage. And let me see what this guy has for him save. I'm pretty sure I might just accidentally kill my own NPC. Whoops.
It says I have an inspiration. Can I use that to reroll my dex?
Yeah. 25.
Oh, I also just have Indomitable.
There you go.
I'll use Indomitable.
Okay.
And you also have a Bardic Inspiration too,
You do. You do have that
which
D10.
is a D10.
And this guy uses.
Maybe that's what I have. Oh, well, I made it.
All right. So 44 damage. If this guy passes, he won't die outright no matter what. So he rolls an 11. He loses all of his hit points. And you see right now that he just got blasted. Now there's a 10-foot hole just through the ship. And it catches the wheel. Those of you who passed, you'll take 22 damage. And those of you who failed, which was him, take 44. And the boat also, since it can't make any type of saves, is also going to take 44 damage. Let me tell you what your boat is. Your boat is currently down by a lot of health. It's at 75 HP out of its total 165. So, but that is the giant's turn. It's grappled. You saw the sword of it come up through and unleash a lightning bolt, and now you see the sword disappears back into the ocean, and the water is now coming from that hole in the boat. But Kaylin, you can also, you know that the giant is directly underneath the boat now, so you can see the hole where the sword came through.
Lovely.
It is your turn.
Okay. With that knowledge, I guess my question is, does this boat have any lifeboats on it?
This one doesn't have lifeboats, but it has like the lifesaver ring things that you can throw. But no,
Okay.
no additional boats.
That doesn't help me.
It hasn't taken on a massive amount of water where it's instantly sinking right now, but you do see starting to come. There's like this weird vacuum underneath where some is coming through, but there's like this air guard almost that is stopping it from instantly filling up and sinking like the Titanic. So this boat's still salvageable. So it's just having a bad time. You also now have darkness under the boat too, so where your darkness is permeating through the hole. So
Okay. Does it look so? There's the hole in the side of the boat, and then there's the hole that's in the floor. Is there enough people down here that I could try to rally them with a persuasion check to patch it faster?
You could certainly try to rally them to save the boat from sinking. Yes. And we'll say
I'd offer to do rousing speech, but that takes like a minute, so
yeah,
no.
We'll say that if you want to try that, because they all don't want to die, but they're also really scared, we'll say it would be a DC 15, but you can have advantage because you're trying to, talk them into not dying. If you wanted to do a persuasion check.
Yeah. So I will do that. I will start barking orders of things that looks like it can lay flat and follow up with, "We will not die today. We will fight. We will win. And the first thing we need to do for success is to repair this boat. Now let's go." And I will roll that persuasion check for a 26.
They hear you and they all kind of look to you, and then they look to the captain, and the captain just goes, "Listen to what she says," and points everyone to the hole. That is just darkness is permeating it out and the icy cold depth of the sea is starting to leak in. So everyone nods and starts to maneuver their way towards this hole down here. So,
I would like to personally ask the captain to go up and try to drive the boat away from the darkness as best as possible, and just kind of inform him, be like, we've got the bronze down here, we need the brains upstairs, go. Like,
Captain Gold on Gold nods, and you get the view of he kind of gives you that feeling of, all right, she knows what she's doing, she's got this under control. And you see running up and appearing beside you, Anthea, Captain Gold von Gold, the tiny little goblin captain, just appears at the top of the stairs and looks up, and he looks terrified, but like he is on a mission. Fizz, it is dark all around you still. I will tell you that the if you want to move anywhere, Kaylin, you can totally move wherever you want.
No, I'm just helping patching.
Cool. The darkness has risen above the boat now, so you would imagine that the top of the head of the giant is at this point at least at surface level. His whole body's not out of the water, but he's big enough now that his head is kind of out the water. The darkness has risen some. So enough that it's like at your knees and whatnot, so you can still kind of see Pax and Athea. Now you see Captain Gold von Gold, but the darkness is creeping up. So.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna do this so he's not completely on your boat. Like right here. The darkness is where it is. He's just, I don't want him on the boat.
So am I able to still see? I'm able to still shoot him, right?
Yeah, you can still shoot down into the darkness. It'll just be a disadvantage.
Yeah, okay. So I will do that, and I'm able to shoot, reload, shoot.
Yep.
So the first one at disadvantage. Any second now, come on.
22 will hit.
And then reload, and then shoot.
You hear it splash off into the water. Your other bullets you've heard, it's almost like they've been hitting, just going silent. This one seems to hit the water and splash, almost like it hit something else, but it's not. The trajectory kind of went off a little bit, so you did not.
Okay, that will be my turn.
All right, Pax, you see Captain Gold von Gold making their appearance. Fizz is shooting into the darkness of the water. And the darkness at this point, like I said, is about at your knee level. Well, you're out of it, but it's about Fizz's knee level.
Got it. Okay. I think Psychic Glance into the Dark is kind of the only play.
You have to be able to see Psychic Glance.
Let's check the spell. I might need to. La la la. Yes, that you can
That's
see.
my problem
Never
too. I
mind.
need to see the guy.
If it requires an attack roll, or if it requires something that you can see, you can still attempt it. It's just at disadvantage. Because you are effectively shooting into the darkness. So you
Let's
can
just try a regular. I'm gonna try a regular Thunder Wave instead. If it hits, the pushing might be more helpful than anything else.
So you're walking down closer to the edge of the ship so you can get there.
Yep.
My assumption is you're using your movement to get to the edge of the ship, casting the
then
spell,
come
and
back.
running back to where you are.
Yep.
You remember from before that your Thunder Wave, let me see, because he could still get pushed. He won't take any damage, but he could get pushed.
Exactly, that might be
He
helpful.
won't get pushed. He rolled a 30. So
Whoa.
you feel like you definitely moved the water, but you feel like the waves of the ocean kind of took the thunder damage and just kind of dissipated it in their storminess. So
Let's make peace with our gods where we can, people. You know? But yes, that's my turn.
Mateia.
Oh boy. Okay. I'll sort of like, because I know Pax and Fizz were up here, even though it's dark now. So I'll be like, "Are you guys okay? Are you injured?"
Yeah, I forgot. It says
Probably
bright as you can
okay.
see, which is
Question mark.
pretty dark.
It's
Yeah.
really dark. I feel like I can't see them probably, right? I'm assuming.
You can see what you can see as far as what your light gives you.
So like it's just my little circle.
Do I, not to interrupt, but do I hear them shouting about it being dark up on the top?
I'll say yes, because there's the hole that came from the bottom went right the way through the top too. It blasted all the way through, so you hear them.
Uh, is dropping darkness a free action?
Yeah, certainly.
You just hear a shout from below, and it's just a shout of, "Do you want me to turn on the lights?"
Yes, please.
Okay, and I will drop darkness.
There's the storm giant. You can now see them. You can see the storm giant shape in the water below, and the darkness which was at your knees has now disappeared. And you can see what you can see with your lights, but the extra darkness is gone.
Wait, there's extra darkness?
There was extra darkness down here because the darkness spell.
What?
You have the light on yourself from your dancing lights, I believe, or no, your little bit of light that you had. Yeah, you should be able to see, right?
Yeah, I can see a little bit around me. Oh, hi, Pegs!
Yep.
Okay,
Hi.
how are you? Are you injured?
A little bit, but I think the ship's the bigger concern.
Okay, I'm gonna try something, and it might work. I'm gonna try my best. And then I'm gonna, like, kind of go to the edge of the boat where I saw the sword come up before. I did see that part at least, right?
Oh yeah, you saw
I
that.
vaguely know where the sword was.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. And then I'm gonna attempt to use this, and we'll see. So I want to try to just kind of push him away.
Tidal wave.
Yeah, so a wave of water that crashes down. I don't want to rock our boat, haha. But I want to basically create a big, like, burst of water to push him away. So it says it can be up to 30 feet long, up to 10 feet wide, and up to 10 feet tall. And I'm hoping to kind of knock him back and
Okay.
bludgeon him a little, maybe. So he makes a dex save, I think, right?
All right. So are you trying to just him, or are you gonna have your Glebus in?
One of the glebas had him held. Is he broken out of that now?
Nope, he did not move out of the grapple, but he's still grappled.
Okay. I mean, if
You
I
can
can
probably-
try to
you can
avoid the
probably move it
glebas, if
around
I
so
know where
that
they are.
It goes what, 10 foot wide? You said. 30 foot
Yeah.
long,
Here,
10 foot
I'll
wide.
post the thing in the. That's better.
Oh,
I
here I
do
can
that. Well,
Um,
maybe not.
up
That
to
doesn't
30
help.
feet long, which means it doesn't have to be up to 10 feet wide and
Okay.
up to. So it
Well,
can you can
if I
make
know
it
the
so it just
glebas are on that side, I'll try to angle it away from that side if that works.
works for me, and it's a dex
You're a
save.
kind of
DC
benevolent
16.
DM.
Yeah, you can do that. No worries.
Okay, perfect. So I will
7.
angle it at him. Okay,
All
and
right, so
then
you
is
hit
that
him.
against?
Nope, it's just he rolled a
Oh,
7
it's
for a dex
DC
save.
16.
He
Okay,
gets
perfect.
pushed. How far?
I think it.
Oh, he's knocked prone.
He's knocked prone. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
And then
I'll say that he's grappled and knocked a little bit further prone.
does he take some damage as
He
well
does.
there? The
Yes.
bludgeoning,
Yep. The
right? Okay,
19
the first one.
bludgeoning.
Sweet. Okay. So bludgeoned and knocked prone in the water.
Yep.
Yay.
Turns.
And then maybe can I have the other gleba try to bite him while he's?
Yeah. Both Glebas can still bite, right?
Oh, lovely. That would be
I
great.
think that's how that goes.
And is that a regular roll because he's prone?
It would be at
but dark?
advantage because it's not in the darkness anymore, and
Oh.
the Glebas, and he's prone. Oh. And
Go
Glebas have dark
Glebes.
vision up to 30 feet, so.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Glebes
The
have
11
that.
misses, but the 22 hits.
Awesome. Go Gleba!
How do you want Gleba to kill the storm giant?
Oh, Gleba did it!
Yes.
Oh my god!
It had 8 hit points left after your.
Oh my god, that's so perfect. Okay. Gleba bites into him and he's got this, like, one poisonous little tooth. I don't know if toads normally have teeth, but I like to imagine them with, like, a little,
With human teeth.
like, yeah, like just a little tooth, nothing too crazy. And yeah, it's sort of like gives him like a nice chomp and it just knocks him right out with the venom. So yes.
You see that this storm giant is felled and begins to sink to further down. And at this point, the captain runs in and it jumps on to the wheel and looks at Fizz and the other two of you and points to the giant hole and starts screaming orders to try and get it fixed. You're
Mm-hmm.
out of initiative
And
order for purpose of like combat because combat's over, but you still have your two glebas. If you want them for anything, they're still available to you, unless you want them to go to the bottom of the ocean with the storm giant. And the boat is currently got two holes in it. So,
I will, as long as it takes to mass do it, but I will multiple times, as long as it takes, cast mending
okay,
on everything that is broken.
all right. And you guys also hear from downstairs, Arnold, the wizard, screaming for someone to help help Brosk, um, as Brosk is dead for the point
Oh,
of being down.
Oof.
Brosk
yes.
got
I will
wrecked,
cast
like,
some healing word on Brost.
all right, and I'll say because you're over the hole, you could lean underneath, and you could basically see Brosk from where you are, and you can just hit him with a healing word. So roll me the healing for the spell, and Brosk will come back to life.
Let's do it
So you guys
as
start team mending up
a level
here.
2.
Great.
3 hit points. Hooray.
Plus your charisma modifier too.
Oh, yeah.
So 12
Plus
five.
9, so 12.
What's your charisma modifier?
Oh, wait,
It's not
no.
plus 9.
Plus 5. Sorry, I was
Okay,
looking at saving throw.
I was gonna say, how'd you get up to a 28? What did you do? But it's still storming up here. And do you want both of you who are mending to cast mending on the hole on the upper part of the deck, or do one of you, or do you both want to go downstairs and repair the two holes downstairs, or how do you want to split your mending as the group downstairs are also trying to patch the big fat hole that's down there?
I would be mending the most immediate damage in my area, which would be up here, and then I'm basically spending however long the rest of this trip is mending.
Okay, cool.
Okay, yeah. I'll just sort of follow his lead because he's the one who's good with, like, fixing stuff and making stuff, so
So you
I'm
guys
like,
are
I trust your
fixing-
judgment.
You guys are fixing this one, and the captain looks at you, Pax, as they're mending and says, "Hey, take the wheel. Keep it straight. I'm gonna go help fix downstairs," and just takes off running downstairs. And then he comes back.
Well,
up here.
okay.
Basically, he just means don't wreck the ship any more
Right.
than it already has been wrecked. And he runs down the boat down to the downstairs as well. And Kaylin, you see the top hole start to get repaired over the next 5 to 10 minutes between your two compatriots who are using magic to repair it piece by piece. And Brosk, who is in no shape to really do anything, tries his best to maneuver things, but in the end, is just kind of in the way, but he's trying to not be dead.
Oh, poor thing.
Right, he got wrecked. So you guys can spend the next 10, 20, 30 minutes repairing the ship enough so that it is not going to sink anymore. So yeah, that was the beginnings. Rest, say after the combat that you guys had and the repairs, it's been about an hour. And the ship is... let's do this. Let's do what the mending spell would normally do for an artificer. So I'll have the two of you each roll me. Those of you casting. How about this? Fizz, Anthea, and Kaylin, each of you roll me 2d6, and that will be how well the sailing ship has been repaired in total.
2d6.
2d6 each. Okay? 2,
Ah.
5. And,
Oh no, we are very unlucky.
I mean, it's alright. Your ship is not...
3 nat once.
It's going to slow down a little bit, because, it's a little weaker. So as of right now, I'm just updating your sailing ship character sheet as it goes. Your ship is currently at now 90 out of 165 hit points. So, but yeah, so your ship is no longer taking on water. Your ship is now, it's sailable, and then it's probably not the best thing to rip into another combat with it, but it can make it. It can make it to your destination, but they understand that it's seen way better days. So
Okay.
the hour goes by, and the ship is the storm is starting to settle a little bit. And you guys start to feel the ease of the waves starting to take back over the ship rather than the thunder and the lightning, as you imagine was probably produced by the giant. And thinking back as they're repairing the ship and you're keeping it together, keeping the ship on course packs. You know there are storm giants that live out in the seas from Evermeet. It's not shocking that you have seen one. You have heard stories about them before of sailors running into them, but normally they are more solitary and more peaceful, and they don't typically attack unless they feel threatened or someone's invading their territory, or they're defending something. And
Right.
you remember as you were catching the glimpses of it before combat started, as it was appearing between the lightning flashes, its eyes weren't the normal, like, bluish, whitish that you've heard that they have. They were more of like a purpley green. Like there was something
Ooh.
off about this one, and you didn't quite get too close of a look at it up close and personal because it was dark and then it was sunk to the bottom of the sea. But this seems like abnormal behavior for what you've heard of storm giants. There are other
Well, then
giants
over the
in
hour-
in general, but this one seems odd. So.
Got it. Over the hour that my colleagues are fixing stuff, I will do two things. I want to gather from other crew members, especially the ones that seem not too traumatized. So if there's any that are calm, if they noticed any additional details about the eyes of the storm giant, then also just has anyone heard stories, on other recent voyages of problems generally, weird happenings. So trying to gather and collate all the data is the goal.
Okay. So as far as seeing the giant, they were all underneath in the bottom part of the ship when you saw the giant, and then it attacked, and they never came out from beneath it as they were trying to keep the ship from sinking. The only person that came up was the captain, and he never got to see the giant because it was underwater with darkness and then was felled. But as you talk to different crew members, the deck wizard, Arnold, tells you that he, in his short young life, he's only 20. He spent a lot of it in, in his studies, whether it's libraries or local places that have books that he can read and whatnot. He focused more on like coastal regional magics and coastal histories and things like that. And give him a 12. He's read and heard a little bit about giants, and he kind of tells you similar to what you've heard, in that as far as storm giants are concerned, they are typically more solitary, and they don't normally just attack willy-nilly, and they can normally be reasoned with, as they are able to speak common and obviously giant, and they are more of the giants. They seem to believe more in prophecy, and in their typical solitary lives, they believe a lot in signs and omens and worldwide phenomena, and they typically will protect their homes and investigate those things by themselves, and they don't take kindly to dark omens, but that's about as much as he knows about storm giants. So.
You know,
Well, we have the giant glebas. If we got the ship all patched, that's great. But if we don't, I would ask Anthea if she could have one of her giant glebas like stick its tongue in between the hole underneath the ship, so it would prevent any more water from coming in.
Plug the ship with the toads.
Exactly.
I mean, they would just be swimming along until they disappear. So if they're still here,
Yeah.
I would love to ask one of them to do that.
just be
They
like
last an
that.
hour, right? I
Roll
think
for
they last an
tongue.
hour as long as
Roll,
you maintain
roll for tongue.
roll for tongue. But yes, they can swim along and stop more water being taken on by the ship
Okay.
for the hour. And during that time frame, you guys can do enough, like I said, to patch the ship to stop the water from any more water being taken on board. Brosk, as much as weak as he is from taking that lightning, very singed. He got hit by that lightning and had a straight up heart attack. All of the electronics in his body just stopped and he collapsed. But you guys got him back, and
dear.
he carries 4 buckets at a time because he's still pretty strong, and just like takes the water from the lower deck up to the top and dumps it over the edge, and that's what he does for that hour to make sure that everything gets a little less wet. But as that hour goes by, the ship is now in good enough condition that it can maintain its course as you've gotten through the storm, and you guys can resume your long rest if you so choose.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Yes.
All right.
Rest.
Yes,
you
please.
got-
I am tired.
So you guys all successfully take a long rest. Brosk will also take a long rest and recover his hit points as well. You guys get all your HP back, spell slots, all that jazz. Get all that stuff back. Your wild shape fades after that, after 10 minutes there, Anthea. And as you guys wake up in the morning on day 2, brightness. It's morning. You should be able to see now. It should be all bright, right? Yes.
It was supposed to be dark.
You have dark vision, so
Oh, okay. I was gonna
Yeah.
be like, it was never
Yeah.
dark.
yeah, right. Well, those that didn't have dark vision, it was basically nighttime, and I did have that fog running, but it wasn't working well with the computers and playing nice. But it was darker. If you ask Anthea, she could only see like 5 feet around her pretty much the whole fight.
Yep.
So
Yep.
she was
It
fighting
was
blind
really
with
weird.
fogs. Yes, so it was dark, it was nighttime, it was foggy, it was stormy, so all of that. But now you wake up in the morning, it's quite bright, the sea is nice and calm, the smell of the salty ocean breeze fills your nostrils, seagulls kind of fly overhead and around. Somebody go ahead and roll for me a d4, please.
I got you, Chief.
Nice.
Awesome. So, where's the thing? Is it this one? I have my random book here. I gotta remember which one I was looking at. It's not this one. I think it's this one. So, as you guys are sailing, the weather today is nice and clear. You can travel the whole day without too much weather problems happening. Go ahead and and you roll me a d100. Somebody else.
Boom.
25. Okay. And then somebody else roll me a d100.
Sure.
Me too? Oh, you got it.
You can get the next one.
Ooh.
54.
54. Please don't be another storm giant.
Let's take Michael's.
I was slow clicking, but yes.
All right, so we'll do a 25 and a 93 then.
Yes,
As
agreed.
you guys are sailing, you do have you do sail past a wreckage of what looks to be some smaller ships, or at least pieces of a ship. And amongst all of that, you see there is one decent looking treasure chest that is able to be pulled into the boat. Whoever wishes to attempt that, pull it in, can do a athletics with advantage, since the crew will likely be helping you try to pull this into the boat.
I'll look at Kaylin, since I'm not super athletic.
I stare at you in shock that you would think that I was athletic.
Sure, I'll give it a shot.
All right, you can get advantage with it because you got a crew helping you out.
Natural 20. It is treasure, and I am at roast. Gimme.
You are so strong.
He's so strong.
So
All right.
strong.
You looked at
So
me and gave me instant inspiration. That was great.
Like, you got this. It's treasure related.
As you guys pull this into the boat, you see that there is a very fancy-looking padlock stuck on the front of this chest.
Ooh.
It seems to be locked, and it seems to be rusted locked.
Oh.
Like this wreckage of the floating wreckage may have been out here for quite some time, as the salt water has creeped into the lock. As you look at it, Kaylin, and you see that there's some rust in some parts that aren't quite as clean as they should be.
Gotcha. Yeah, I would totally like to crack into that, but knowing it was on a ship, can I roll an investigation check to check and see if it's trapped?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what kind of ship it came from. 24.
It definitely looks trapped, and it looks like a non-magical mechanical trap, but the trap, you can't quite tell if the trap itself is rusted or if it's supposed to be this way. But it definitely looks like there is some sort of, there's something on the inside that this trap is linked to that would trigger if it tried to be forcibly opened. You can't quite tell what it is.
Ooh.
Interesting. Okay. Well, let's not force it. Let's use a makeshift key, and I will pull out my thieves' tools, and I'd like to try to crack that lock.
Do it. Give me that thieves' tools check.
Hubble. 23.
You get the first part of the lock, you dig in there and you feel like, and you crack the first one without an issue. You need 3 successes.
Got it. The second one. Crack my fingers, go in for a second time. 23.
DC is 20 every time, just so you know.
Woo!
So you get in there and you crack it again. So
And last one.
I don't think you can
Shaking my
actually roll
hand.
unless
Alright,
you roll
here
a
we
1.
go.
And it's still not a 10. There. 23.
Well, that's a 10, that was a 5, and that was a 4, because I have,
There you go.
I have that
thinking
skill.
Reliable talent. Yeah, you're starting to sweat a little bit as you're like getting in there, and you can feel it in your head. You're like, if I get this wrong, this could be really, really bad. And just as you're thinking that, the rust kind of snaps, and the padlock like delocks itself, just swings there.
Whew.
And as you take this padlock off the chest, it's very hefty. It's like a 5-pound padlock. It's
Ooh.
got a lot of girth behind it. It looks it's a lot heavier than it originally looked. All right, so I haven't made these items yet because I didn't know what you guys were gonna get, so I had to wait and see what you rolled on a random table. But looking inside of this, you see that there's like a napkin, almost like a pocket square that's covering everything, like a really, really, I guess pocket square is not the right word, but a big old cloth that's covering it, and it's got the symbol. It's got a symbol on it that none of you recognize, but Captain Gold Von Gold recognizes. And he kind of looks at it, and you hear him take a gasp, and says, "I don't know. We might want to put this back. I don't know if we want to take. We might just want to dump this back in the ocean."
Is it a curse or something, or what's the deal?
No, it's the treasure of one of the pirate lords of the region.
Oh, that could be a problem. Which pirate lord? How bad is he?
If I had to scale him out of 10, he's like a 6.
Alright. What do we think, gang?
As you kind of peek under it a little bit, you see there are lots of coins and a couple really other interesting things under there.
Ooh. Interesting things like...
Like
Is there anything
a
magical?
A shield and a cloak, both of which could be magical. You don't quite know.
Ooh.
Well, hear me
What
out. I was gonna say, hear me out. Like, if we run into this guy, it's, oh, we found your stuff and is returning it to you. If we don't run into this guy, free stuff.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, what does the object look like in his hands?
The object in whose hands? In the
The
chest?
pirate lord. Yeah, the pirate
Oh.
lord item.
Oh, it's just a like a cloth with his symbol on it, which is like a fish skull, like a fish skeleton even, like the head, the tail, and the bones, with a ruby-handled scimitar laying across the back of its neck.
I have an idea for this. For the scarf, what was it?
It's basically like a big cloth.
I have ideas. So I say we hold
Good
on
idea.
to it.
I think we might be thinking the same thing, and yes, I fully agree on holding on to it.
I can be convinced. How about you, Anthea?
I think so. I agree.
Seeing that you all agree, the captain goes, nope, I don't want nothing to do with it. Then he goes back downstairs to keep his eyes away from whatever he wants. No part of whatever it is that you are about to be doing. But as you move the cloth away from the mound of coins that are in there, there is 93 platinum and 71 gold pieces and 192 silver pieces.
Well then.
Someone keep note of that, because we may get pop quizzed by a pirate king later on down the road.
There, platinum, gold, silver, in that order. And then also, as you kind of move it around, you find 2 magical things in there. Let me ask you this: do any of you use shields? I can't remember.
No.
You can, but do you?
I can, but I don't.
I know Anthea can, because I know druids can use shields. I just don't know if you
I
do.
can, but I don't think I have one. No,
Well, you
I
might have one now, because one of these is a shield.
Yay!
Yay! Yay! AC buff!
Alright, so here is the first one. As you kind of,
No, I do
these
not
are
have a
not
shield
items.
yet.
These are not items that are in the game anywhere. I'm going to write them out right now and describe to you what they do. Let me write out first. Alright, so this first one, as you kind of pick it up and look at it and you pass it between you, as it gets to you, Anthea, it feels warmer to the touch. And as you kind of stare at it, it looks like it's made of not metal, surprisingly. It's made of like this dark, charred, ashen wood, like this really black enough to look like darkened steel from afar. But as you look at this magical shield, you see that different flames start to appear and start to emblazon themselves upon the shield, and you find yourself a shield of embers. It's just a standard shield, but it also, while wielded, grants fire immunity, and it does require attunement. So I will put that in there later. I'm writing it down. So
Cool.
Okay,
yeah, while
cool.
using it, you can basically block any fire attack, and if anything would require you to make a save against fire, whether you pass or not, you can get yourself fire immunity.
Nice.
And then the other thing that you guys found was a what else was in there? It was oh, it was a cloak. So this one, as you all kind of look at it, little clocks and watches and different symbols for time start to appear on it, and this cloak allows the user to glimpse into the future. Per day, I'm gonna have to build this, but amount of times per day equal to your proficiency bonus. You can either take an attack at advantage, or you can burn a reaction to make something attacking you have disadvantage. So it's an advantage disadvantage one.
That's very cool.
Yes. I'm gonna type it up. Yeah, I'll write that here in a second. But yeah, you guys have the Cloak of Time and a Shield of Embers, which I'll get put in there.
That's very exciting.
And as you guys kind of empty out this chest, you hear from below, are you guys done yet? Take it whatever you want.
Did you want something too?
No, I want nothing to do with that pirate's treasure chest.
Okay. You just seem to be hurrying us, so I thought maybe you wanted a bit. I'm sort of
No.
like teasing him. He's so clearly uncomfortable with this.
I'm going to snatch and grab the ruby encrusted scimitar and the pirate captain flag.
The scimitar, it's not a scimitar. The pirate flag has a fish skeleton with a ruby encrusted scimitar as well.
Okay, so I'm gonna snatch and grab the flag.
Cool. It's not like full flag size. It's like a smaller, probably like 2 foot by 1 foot. So it's smaller. It's good enough that you could shove it around your waist as a belt, or you could shove it in a bag if you wanted to. And it's
Yeah,
made
I'm gonna
of like
put it in my backpack.
like nicer silk or cloth. It's not super thick, super heavy. It looks like something that you would find on like somebody's desk as like a desk mat or something like that.
Cool.
I'd take a look at the cloak that we just found, and I would say I think that this would actually be best on Pax. He's got some pretty heavy shots that he can do, and if he has the ability to almost guarantee himself a hit, I think that it would be best if he was the one that has it.
Yeah. Glad they do that.
Also requires attunement because
Okay.
that's a busted item if it doesn't.
And then
but
it would be.
Yes, it's just a cloak with lots of clocks and different symbols for time present on it. And anything else that you guys wish to do? What?
Yeah, because I learned what this item is, and I don't need it.
Which one?
If Anthea wants it, I have a necklace of prayer beads. It requires attunement by a druid.
I could trade you something. I also have because I have too many things attuned right now. So if you want to trade, I could give you I have these boots that make me fast, but I'd be willing to share them with you because I always forget to use them.
The boots of speed.
Sure, I'll trade you.
You want to be a really fast explodey boy?
Yeah,
Yes!
sure.
Perfect.
This gives you
Would that be useful?
spells.
Spells would be lovely.
It does give you spells.
I like
And you
spells.
also have a shield that requires attunement too. So
I know. I have too many things. So.
Yeah,
Three things.
I'll trade you the necklace for the boots.
Okay, perfect.
Right, so
Good deal.
Fizz, you now have the boots of speed, and Anthea, you now have a necklace of prayer beads with 6 charges present on it. So, and every time you want to, yep, I think you get to. There's basically one of each type of bead on there. So.
I'm attuned to these boots.
So.
I'm gonna tune to the cloak for sure. Yay!
Yay,
Once I
cloak.
build those items, I will put them in your guys' inventory. Like I said, I just pulled up my book and had you guys roll out of them. So,
Awesome.
Sweet.
What book?
it's called Random Tables 4.
Oh.
Nice.
Let me take this out of here, and then you now have the necklace of prayer beads on your your sheet there, Anthea.
Oh, awesome.
I took the boots speed out there. Yeah, and so that was about lunchtime-ish. And once he comes up and sees that it's empty, he just walks up and kicks the chest to push it further into the sea and hope and watches it fill with water and float away. All right. Well, we're gonna go faster towards Evermead now, so we can not catch these pirates. We don't want them to see us. So maybe they're dead. I don't know. Maybe it was his scouting party that went and raided and got items. But I know not what you got, not where it came from. I'm innocent in all of this. So
La 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 la.
pretty much stuck his fingers in his ears like la 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 la. uh, but yes, you have the rest of the second day to do anything you so choose. I will say, because I think it's fun, if there is a specific skill that you wish to train in that you could make the argument that it is doable on the sea, you can train and you can gain minimum half proficiency in it while on this journey, as long as nothing crazy bad happens. And even then, you're going to take breaks. Or there is also one of the ship folk who are practicing their tattooing. So if you want to get a tattoo while on this boat, you can certainly do that too.
Could I make an argument for trying to learn / get the proficiency of water vehicles?
Oh yeah, for sure. You could certainly work with the navigator and the captain throughout the day, and you'd be working with Alania, the elvish female, and the captain, Gold von Gold, to learn how to drive, how to steer, how to navigate a little bit, learn the basics so that you can get yourself some proficiency by the end of the travel in water-based vehicles.
I would love to do that.
So, because I like to imagine if you're spending at this point 6 full days trying to learn something, basically, that you're not going to be great at it, but you're going to have, we'll say that you have, when you'll roll with like half proficiency because you can do it. You're just not like super good at it yet. So you're not going to immediately wreck the boat. You'll do enough that like you're a first time driver in your first 6 months of driving and you're still really unsure about it, but you could do it. You're just not the best at it yet.
All right.
So you'll get half proficiency by the end of the 6-day trip because it's a small boat too, so it's easier to learn than it is if you were just on a warship. So
I would go for learning some nature, especially about sort of water creatures.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
All right. You have proficiency or half proficiency in everything, right? Already?
Yes.
All right. So do you have half proficiency in nature?
I do.
All right. So we'll say because you already have half, that you can end up with full proficiency on water and sea-based creatures because you already have some knowledge, some working knowledge from living on an island, that now you'll have that full proficiency on that. I can actually change that on your, I'll add these things to your sheets too. Nature, customize, proficient. Ship, travel, learning stuff. That's the note. Ship, travel, learning stuff. So now you see it blue on your sheet. Ship, travel, learning stuff. Alright, those two are going to be focusing on learning how to ship better and learning how to do more ocean animal stuff better. What about the other two? Do you have a specific goal for the rest of your travels? There are other things will happen, but these are like goals that will happen in the background.
What kind of tattoos are they offering?
So most of them require attunement, but depending on what it is, I might just say they don't, and I'll just rework them. So you can, let me check something here. Let's see what this one is. So I'll say that if you could get a cantrip tattoo, a spell rot tattoo, and you can. It says that you only get to cast it once, that it disappears. But I'll say if you get the cantrip, you can just cast it as a normal cantrip. So if you want and it can be from since you have a wizard on board, it could be from the wizard spell class. It could be from the bard spell class.
Ooh.
Since you also have a bard on board, or if there's another druid one you want, you could also get a druid cantrip as well. So if you want to get a
If
spell
I see
rot-
Anthea doing that, I might change my answer and ditch studying for tattooing. That sounds much more exciting.
Well, there's a person who's doing the tattoo, so if you all wanted to get a free tattoo, you can also do that in.
We get matching tattoos, guys.
Oh my god!
Yes.
It's a girls'
Can we
trip
get
with
matching
matching
tattoos?
tattoos.
Yes. This is a cruise now.
This is now a cruise.
We can tattoo that frost giant or water giant's head on our, like his severed head on our bodies.
There we go.
Right.
Perfect.
The time we killed the thing.
Remember that time? Good times.
Good times.
Good times. Would they happen to be offering the ghost step tattoo that gives the inability to be grappled or restrained?
I'll say if you want to get the ghost step tattoo, you could do that, and that would be like a big thing that you do in the background, like how they're getting proficiencies and things. The ghost step could be like your big thing that you get. Let me make sure. Yeah, if you want to do that as like the big thing that you would get for the trip, you could do that.
Yeah, I would like that to be mine. I would love the ability to not be grappled or restrained as the
so
rogue.
we'll say instead of getting a spell rot one, that'll be the one you get, and that will be your free tattoo plus your big thing, since that's a pretty big tattoo. And you get
Yes.
to determine where it is, what it looks like, how big it is. Oh, you also have resistance to when you use the charges, you get resistance to magic, but you have to use the charges to do that. So it's 3 times per day, and it only works until the end of your next turn. Just so you know, the grapple or restraint, that's not a permanent thing. It's 3
Okay.
times per day, so 3 turns per day.
Is it a does it require attunement?
Yes, the ghost step does require attunement. So
I may change my mind on that because I thought it was a permanent thing, not a single use per day. I only wanted the inability to be grappled or restrained. I didn't care about the other stuff.
So basically, what you're looking for is the ring of free action.
Basically, but I kind of wanted it in tattoo form because I feel like it's a bit more badass.
Well, if you could, maybe in Evermeet you can find some who can do that. This person is not. Their tattooing skills are good, but they're not like they can't make up something that powerful. The ghost step would be like at the far reaches of their capabilities. They can't make up new.
Gotcha. Okay, then is there? Let's see. There's not a cleric on board. I think I would hang out with the navigator and maybe try to get half proficiency in survival then.
Okay. He told me he'd be back in 5 minutes.
Okay.
I thought you'd have proficiency in survival already. Oh, that's the other type of rogue that gets it.
That's the other type of
yeah.
rogue, yeah.
Yep. If you want to hang out with Lania when she's not with Fizz, teaching Fizz how to drive, then you can get half proficiency in survival. Let me put that on here. Ship travel stuff. Cool. So you now have half proficiency in survival. So
Awesome.
your reliable talent does not apply to survival checks since it's not full proficiency yet. It's only half. So you had to have full proficiency for that to gain that.
Yep.
So, cool. But hey, it's better than it was. Cool. So that'll be your big thing. So the big things so far are he gets half proficiency, which gives him full proficiency because he's a bard and already had it. You're getting proficiency in navigators, shenanigans for sea vehicles, and you're getting half proficiency in survival. And then, what's the big thing you would like, Anthea? Anything in particular? Oh no, she ran away. Anthea.
Hi, sorry my internet's being bad.
No, you are good. Is there anything? What's the big thing you would like to have this year?
Sorry, my internet's being awful.
Oh no. Navigators. All right. Well, once your internet gets a little bit better, I'll let you tell me what you want as your big thing that you like.
Yeah, I missed like the last minute, but I was also reading tattoo things because I got excited. I kind of like the idea of the Illuminator's tattoo, where you get to like turn your finger into like a quill and you can write with it, like it's an ink pen.
Okay. I mean,
And
if you
then,
wanted
as an
to,
action,
yeah.
you can touch a piece of writing up to 1 page in length and speak a creature's name. The writing becomes invisible to everyone other than you and that named creature for the next 24 hours. We could send secret messages.
Yes, with our matching tattoos.
That's so cool.
So if you want that to be like your big one, you can get that one. If you want a tattoo that gives you, if everybody wants a tattoo that gives you a free cantrip, you can certainly do that too, and I can work those all onto your sheets later. So.
Okay. I'd be down for that.
You also don't.
The
have
only
to
thing
have
is,
tattoos,
it's another thing that requires
I'm gonna take attunement off
much.
of that one. I'm gonna take attunement off of that one if you want that to be your
The
big
tattoo.
thing. Since people are taking like proficiency and stuff, you'll just do that. I'll work it out a little bit, and I'll probably change it up a little bit. But yeah, I'll rebuild it and put it on your thing for you. So.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds good. I like the secret messages idea because it could be really fun.
Okay.
We could like pass each other blank pieces of paper, and people will be like, "What?" I'll be like, "Nope, it's blank. Don't worry.
No sus.
Don't worry.
It's fine.
No, nothing weird here."
All right. But with that, your second day at sea kind of goes by without much of a hitch. The night comes, and nightfall falls. It's a very peaceful night this time around. No storm giant attacks. You guys have a very clear night sky where you can see all of the stars, and you can rest peacefully on the top or underneath the boat, depending on where you feel like sleeping. And night 2 of your 7-day trip from Baswin Wharf to Evermeet goes by without issue. Day 3 starts. Go ahead and somebody roll me a d4, please.
Can I do this one?
Do it.
Go for it.
Ooh, a 3.
All right. So as you are on there, roll me a d10.
D10. Okay. Another 3.
Another 3.
All the 3s.
As you guys are sailing, it's oddly quiet. It's almost like the ocean's very still. There's enough wind that your sails are going, but it's almost a silent wind that moves your boat across these waters. The waves aren't really slapping too hard against the boat. You'll hear some every now and again. But a little after lunch in the early afternoon, you hear this deep rumbling, almost like a depth charge erupted at the bottom of the ocean. And you hear it and you feel the depths of this reverberation. And as you look out, you don't see any air bubbles hitting the surface of the water, but you do see sound waves. And they, like when you throw a pebble into a pond and it makes the ripples, you see ripples originating from about, let me show you on the map how far out from around you these things ripple. They ripple starting about that far out from you. And remember, you're just basically on one layer of boat, and they just ripple out into the sea further and further until they disappear.
Mysterious.
Can I look over the side of the boat to see if I see anything?
Absolutely. Go ahead and make me a perception check as you look down into the deep depths of the dark ocean water.
Nope.
You can see as far as the sunlight will let you see down into the water, but
Hmm.
you don't see anything.
Okay.
Guys, just keep on sailing. Nothing.
Peaceful sailing is the best kind. No giants.
Nothing emerges.
It's
from the depths.
it's a nice change compared to day one, for sure.
Nothing emerges from the depths.
Oh,
No air
did we get a
bubbles.
long rest as well? I
Yes,
forgot
you're
to-
on day 3 now. You've had 2 long rests.
Cool. Lovely.
Anything else that you would like to achieve on day 3?
Maybe some fishing.
Absolutely.
Good idea.
It sounds like you're walking. Are you walking right now?
Correct.
All right. I will roll the checks for you. All right.
Can I help him somehow? Maybe like
Oh, yeah.
use
There's
some of my
fishing.
creatures
There's
to like
fishing
lure the
tackle on
fish
the
or
boat.
something?
Yeah, there's fishing.
Oh,
tackle on this
awesome!
boat.
Yeah.
Um,
Or I'll help put the worms on the hook. How's that?
that works just fine. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add fishing tackle to your equipment here, Pax, and you're gonna get advantage because Anthea
Ooh.
is helping you. Anybody else wish to fish?
Fishing
No,
is
but
great.
when
Always the best in the game in any game.
No, but when Anthea's done, I want to talk to her.
Okay, it is not a tool for some reason, and will not let me roll it like a tool. That's weird. But I'll say that it'll be, we'll say dexterity, and so it'll just be a dexterity check that we'll do at advantage. You rolled a 21. We're gonna say you catch this many 1d10 pounds worth. You catch 8 pounds. That's a lot of fish. 8 pounds of fish.
A lot of fish. Yeah.
You catch 8 pounds of fish. Anthea, you and Pax are just having a heck of a time for a couple hours, just reeling in fish, catching them.
I use my hat as a net.
She's throwing them in and pulling them out, and you and Gleba are like throwing the hat up in the air, catching them. Gleba's using their tongue to like grab them out the air and whip them down into the hat. Your hat's gonna smell real bad, but
It's gonna be nasty. It already does smell bad, to be honest.
Maybe a little. Hey, Anthea, do you know what the secret plan is?
The secret plan for what?
The secret plan is to host a giant feast for the crew since they almost died a little bit. So get lots of fish, make big fancy feast. That is
Perfect.
plan.
Let's do that. I still have my cooking utensils, right?
you should, yeah.
Perfect.
I
Okay,
am
I will
also
plan to do
proficient
that
in
after.
cooking, so I will assist in that.
Hooking is the fishing part, and then the cooking comes after.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, okay, perfect. That's a good time for me to pop over and help cook those with you then.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, but before you cook, Anthea, come here. I want to talk to you about something.
Okay. Yeah?
I was wondering if you would like to get a matching tattoo with me.
I would love that. That sounds so cool. I've never had a tattoo before.
Neither have I, but there's a first time for everything, so come with me, and I will take Anthea downstairs, and I want us to get this as a tattoo together.
On a shroom.
Anthea is very on board with this. Little froggy on a mushroom. That's so perfect.
It's so cute.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, so we'll say that you can get a support cantrip with the tattoos. So like no attack one, but it could be something as simple as like, I don't know, True Strike. It could be light. It could be something like that.
Can I
Cool.
get prestidigitation with mine?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
All 4 of you can
that
get
is a good
tattoos
idea.
if you wish, and they can all have a support cantrip in there.
I would pitch
Anyone
to the
else want to be
entire.
part of the Gleba squad?
I would pitch to everybody about getting this exact tattoo that I'm probably getting carved into me at that moment.
Pax is on board for that for sure. And yes, I'll look at a support cantrip for lifting. Yes,
Okay.
on board.
Sounds good.
How does Fizz feel about Gleba? Would it be cooler if Gleba had some enhancements to Gleba?
Holding a rocket
Fizz-
Like
launcher.
a froggy with a little cannon?
Fizz is going to decline as he does not want to shave his fur.
Fair.
There.
That is
Oh,
a good
let's-
reason.
Palm of your hand if you wish.
Can it be painted on the side of one of his guns?
Ooh. Or tints, maybe? Tinted fur?
I mean, if you want to have it engraved or painted on one of your guns, you could certainly do that.
No.
Okay.
Just not.
Works for me.
That's okay.
Alright, I'm just writing down what
Yay,
you all
tattoos!
chose. Kaylin, since Kaylin's the one that chose, just
It's
let me know
so
later on
cute.
what you want. And I will build them all out in your sheets for a later time frame. Tattoos. Yes. So day 3, the rest of the afternoon goes by with fishing and tattoo grabbing. Anything anyone else wishes to try to today?
Aside from cooking for the crew, I think that's my plan. So we'll probably try to whip up a feast.
Okay. Open up just a normal seafaring fish feast. Got it.
Fish feast.
Okay. Day 3 passes without evening passes as another nice, calm night goes by. Beginning of day 4, somebody roll me a d4.
Who's it gonna
I'll
be?
give it a go.
Okay.
I
You
did the
got it.
last
Very
one.
good.
Oh, you want me to roll it for you, Pax?
I think this will work. Aha!
It-
Does the app show up?
Ah,
Yay!
oh,
All right. And then I'm gonna roll as well. 3. Okay. So today the weather is not quite as clear. It's not storming, but it's a little more humid out than it has been. And you notice that there's a light fog that as you wake up, it's kind of just all around you, like that early morning haze. And it doesn't seem to go away. You spend the majority of the morning and early afternoon sailing in a relatively straight line. And then it starts to feel like you're being watched, perhaps, or like there's something just not right.
Oh dear.
Everybody go ahead and roll me perception checks, and I can roll one for you. Pax.
Perception.
Let's see here.
Ooh, we're perceptive, Fizz.
Oh, hey, look, 5. You have a +0 to perception? That's wild. I thought you would have higher than that, Pax. You
I
do.
wonder-
You have a +8 to perception.
Okay.
So I was like, you're a bard. You have to have at least a +2. You have a +8 to perception, so you rolled a 13.
Fun fact: the Roll20 app is not as good as the D&D Beyond app.
Oh yeah, you have to. I think you have to click from your sheet, right? Or is that from?
Yeah.
Oh, weird. But as you guys start to feel this fog kind of roll in, or get a little bit thicker. You notice that you guys are, like I said, you're being watched, and you feel yourself being surrounded almost. And let me do something here real quick, because with those perception checks, you definitely
see a
start to
thing?
see fins swimming around
Mm.
you, and you start to hear voices. Does anybody? What languages does everybody speak? Just common, Elvish,
Common,
Orthodox.
Druidic, Elvish, Sylvan. I don't speak Elvis.
Wow, you speak Elvis. Love
Kaylin
it.
and
I
Fizz.
don't speak Elvis.
Kaylin and Fizz, you both understand the language to be abyssal. And it's almost like a protective chant where what they are yelling or chanting seems like they're trying to multiply themselves. And what you guys see appearing around you, all of these creatures, which are those. Something looks a little off about some of them, but your ship is now being surrounded by these swimming monstrosity creatures.
What?
And they're 4 little monstrosity buddies.
Are they babies? Oh.
No, they also look like this, and they should also
They're not
be
babies.
large. I did not make them big enough.
Oh boy.
Right.
They look mean. Are they mad?
They are not happy. There you go. They should also be this big. But
I'll like edge over to Pax, like, maybe we should give them back their fish.
stealing.
Sure, maybe they'll want a sashimi buffet. Go back.
Right.
Can we invite them to dinner?
There you go. Now they're all the right size.
Cooking for 4 sharks.
But with that, that's where we will leave it for now. You are surrounded by all these large monsters with harpoons chanting in abyssal that the two of you understand on day 4 of day 7. And when we come back from our hiatus, I'm going to do this just so I don't forget. So we will roll initiative when we come back, and then that doesn't necessarily mean we'll be in combat, but we will be in combat initiative order to determine what happens and what doesn't. You don't have to roll yet.
Dang. Oh.
You might get, yeah. I'm just leaving it up here.
might
I
but-
mean, I
Another
think because he
13.
rolled, that means, yeah, maybe let's give him another roll and take the higher one.
Right. We'll do that when we come back. But when you guys return, when we come back, it is midday, like later midday, early evening time-ish for this encounter on the sea. Anything that you may have wanted to attune to, you will have been able to attune to it without issue by this point. And we will get into initiative order when we come back, and we will see what happens. But until then, leave you surrounded by all these monstrosities.
Lovely.
So fun. A great game as always. Great to play with everybody again. Look forward to returning from the hiatus. But for now, everybody say goodbye to YouTube.
Bye.
Hey, YouTube!
Bye, YouTube. Happy dungeon delving, everyone.